That's right. It's a Critter News, an extended edition of Critter News, which, by the way,
it's a fan favorite.
I understand is a fan favorite. We are going to really take some time here on this Critter story because it affects every Washingtonian and it's an international story. And that is the question of Mei Xiang, the panda at the National Zoo, one of our giant pandas, and the question of her hormones. So joining us to discuss that is Juan Rodriguez. He is one of the panda keepers at the National Zoo. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Rodriguez.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
So Mei Xiang has elevated hormones, which, by the way, anyone who's ever been around a panda, you don't want to be around a hormonal panda.
I've heard that.
I mean, it can be nasty. Why is it so hard to know if she's pregnant or not? It seems to me that if the hormone elevation is there, just like with any other creature, you connect the dots and say, okay, she's pregnant or she's not. Why is it a mystery?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I know for most people, you're used to doing, a urine test or other tests to determine if one is pregnant. For giant pandas, it's very different. Right at this point in time, we really don't have anything that's very definitive to say, okay, yes, she's 100% pregnant. So the hormones, when we look at them, they actually do tell us that there is a pregnancy involved. However, they have what's called a pseudo-pregnancy, which is like a false pregnancy. And the hormones look exactly the same between a pseudo-pregnancy and a real pregnancy, and that's where the challenge arises.
Yeah, I had one of those scares once too. It's
but hold on a minute. I mean, when you want to know, there's another way to find out, and that's to do the ultrasound, right?
Absolutely, you're absolutely correct. So, but see, the tricky thing about the ultrasound is that the earliest anyone's been able to see an actual fetus in an ultrasound is 2 weeks before birth.
Wow,
so you literally
they're that small, yeah.
You have to go through the whole process, the whole pregnancy, which for Mei Xiang usually is about 4.5, 5 months approximately, and you have to sort of go through the whole process. So as soon as she's artificially inseminated or if she has a natural breeding, you basically have to sort of record the date and just assume that she is, and then wait till the very end to sort of confirm if she is definitely pregnant or not.
What about behavior? Because that's another telltale sign.
Yeah. Do they eat 8 tons of bamboo instead of 7 tons of bamboo?
well, it's funny you bring that up because, during the first stages of her pregnancy, if she is pregnant or not, we don't know, but she will always do this in both a real pregnancy and a pseudo-pregnancy. She'll basically will start to increase her diet intake, and basically she's gaining weight to sort of prepare herself so that when she does give birth, if she is pregnant, she has the fat stores available to her, because once that cub is born, she really doesn't have the opportunity to go out. She has to hold on to that cub literally for weeks on end because the cubs are just so fragile, and they need to have mom's body heat to keep them warm. They can't self-regulate their own heat, so they have to be close to mom at all times. So she's basically she'll load up on all her calories, again, with a pseudo-pregnancy and a real pregnancy. So behaviorally, she's actually acting as if she is pregnant.
Okay.
But that all happens the same between a pseudo and a real pregnancy.
So what's the gestation period here? I mean, if she is pregnant right now, and it sounds like we're not going to know for sure until like right before, when Juan Rodriguez starts handing out the cigars in the delivery room there.
Exactly.
When should we expect a new little baby panda here, knock on wood?
So if all things are going well, it's right now we're predicting anywhere between late August to probably mid-September. So we have to have that time range just because pandas do have the implanting can happen at various times. So depending on when she actually implants the embryo, that'll sort of determine when that due date is. So that's why we always have a very broad sort of due date just to make sure we're not missing anything.
But Juan,
yeah,
you know this panda, this Mei Xiang. You know her very well. You're her chief keeper, and you obviously, like people who are very close to women. When they're going through this, you've got a sense of it, don't you? You can share it with us.
Come on,
what is your
what is
your gut feeling?
Yeah.
But what is your gut feeling?
What is my gut feeling? I mean, as a conservationist, I think everyone in this field, we always want to ensure that the species we work with, in this case our giant pandas, are reproducing and are healthy and are well, and we're increasing their population numbers. So from day one, we're always very, very, very hopeful. So we're all keeping our fingers crossed. We're very cautiously optimistic. Mei Xiang is an older bear, so we do have to keep that in mind. And she has had false pregnancies in the past.
She's also had two cubs.
Well, including Bao Bao. Now we love Bao Bao. We were first in line celebrating Bao Bao.
Bao Bao is definitely a miracle indeed. Yeah, she's definitely she's been a blast to sort of see her grow up from literally a few grams, and now she's over 130 pounds.
Wow!
So she's doing really great.
Is there ever any sibling rivalry there? Like if Mei Xiang is pregnant and a little baby is born, does Bao Bao sort of get in the face of the new little cub?
I hope that we have that situation. I mean, we do have, we would have the birth. In general, we probably won't have an opportunity to see that only because at this stage, Bao Bao has been well weaned off of mom.
Yeah.
So she won't be anywhere near mom and the cub if she is pregnant or not.
Our guest is Juan Rodriguez. He's the panda keeper over at the National Zoo. And before we're out of time, I got to ask you on a semi-related question because you're around these pandas all the time, and you're around the fans of the pandas. The people who come to the zoo all the time and stalk the pandas, right? Either on the panda cam on their computer or right there. We have a friend.
Yeah,
he happens to be our boss.
Well, no, I wasn't going to.
Oh, well, it's too late.
Let's just call him Bill, for lack of another. And he has an addiction to Bao Bao, but pandas in general. He's there all. I mean, you probably know him. I wouldn't doubt you've got.
Seen him. I think I've seen him. Yeah.
Oh, he's there all the time. I mean, we have. Oh, shoot! Here he comes. This is his theme song. Is that a healthy thing for an adult male to be constantly going to the National Zoo to check out pandas and constantly take pictures of them and post them everywhere and have them up on the walls of your office and have your screensaver actually be the link to the panda cam at the National Zoo?
Absolutely, that's perfectly normal. We appreciate that. That means a lot to us. That there are a lot of people out there that really care about our pandas, and so we'll take all anyone who's interested in our pandas.
You're encouraging this kind of behavior.
Oh, totally, yeah.
All right.
But I mean, it is true because you see it all the time. There are people who are just they're
a little nuts about the pandas.
The people just go gaga over the. They are because they're adorbs.
It's amazing. Yeah, they just I've been working with them for the last 4 years, and I never stop. Just every day I'm working with them, and I just have to stop and just admire how beautiful the species is, and there's less than 2,000 of these guys in the world. So
the guys at the reptile house must hate you.
Oh,
my God. They got to deal with snakes all the time, and you get the cute little teddy bears.
We do get a lot of attention, and but we do our best also to recognize that there are a lot of species out there, including reptiles, that don't get all the publicity that I think they deserve. So I think what we can do is using the giant pandas as an ambassador for other species is sort of our goal too. So any publicity that we can sort of push onto them, we'll always do that.
Well, Juan Rodriguez, thanks for joining us.
We want to check back in with you when we get closer.
Heck, I'm thinking we need to do a live remote there every morning waiting for the birth of the panda.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. That sounds great.
Thank God it's not wintertime.
Brian Wilson on Panda Watch.
Thanks, Juan.